my projector friends, and welcome to your reading for the week of September 16th, 2024. But know that if you are crossing paths with this video at a later date, that you are definitely still in the right place. As with all readings, take what serves you well and put the rest in the chuck it bucket. One of the most fascinating things about being human is that we have free will choice. So no matter what messages Spirit have for us today, we always have the ability to take it or leave it. All right, so this week I am inspired by the supermoon eclipse that is happening. So we are going to pull one card from the Moonology Oracle card deck, one from the Moonology Manifestation deck, and then at least 3 cards from the tarot. And this week we are going to focus on strength, weakness, and advice. So let's get started with the Moonology card. So what advice, assistance, guidance does the moon have for us this week? All right, it is new moon in Leo. Confidence is your key to success. And that is a wonderful card, projector, because projectors, because they have this ability to kind of be, well, actually to this very strong leadership ability. Sometimes you can forget that like that you are very confident and that you are supposed to be, and that you are supposed to be a leader. So this is a reminder that confidence is a key to your success. I love it. And then in terms of manifestation this week, what is here to help you? Ooh, and we have new moon in Scorpio, go deeper. How interesting. So the manifestors both got full moons, and you have got 2 in new moons. So starting something new, perhaps it would be a good thing this week to do, or on the next new moon, to do a manifestation ritual. So to set some intentions on the new moon. And then I love a new moon ceremonies in particular, because as the moon goes from new to full, you get to see your manifestations. It's like as the moon reveals itself, it's showing you that it's taking steps towards your manifestation. So, that's what I'm getting right there. And also to go deeper, confidence. I can't wait to see what the tarot has for us this week. See how it all ties together. Okay, so strength for you, projector, is the Queen of Swords. It's being very clear about what you want. That is a definite, and we have a weakness here, which is the Ace of Wands. And then the advice is the Queen of Cups. Wow, lots of feminine energy here. And I love it. Okay, so we've got, okay, delightful. All right, so let's start with strength. Okay, so the queens are about nurturing, right? So we've got 2, so there's definitely like a nurturing vibe happening this week for you. The queen, now she can be like, let's be honest, she can be like a little cold. She can be a little demanding, and remember, this is your strengths though, so I'm not saying that being cold is a strength, but with that coldness comes this like crisp clarity. So a strength for you, now look at, she's also very fair, right? She is someone who will make decisions based on logic. So this is, if you have decisions to make this week, logic is something that is a strength for you. However, we are going to want to combine it with some positive emotion. Okay, so that's because this is the advice. I believe these 2, I'm feeling very strongly that these 2 are related. This go deeper is part of the advice, and this confidence is the Queen of Swords, because she is indeed very confident. So if you have not been feeling very confident, find an area of your life where you maybe feel like a little unclear and get clear, right? Now, one of the issues here is that the Ace of Wands, since this is a weakness, this is that like getting started energy. Okay, so it's actually like taking steps to like physical, actionable steps to putting energy into something. So aces are about potential, right? And so it's okay to have weakness as a potential as weakness. It just means that it's something to focus on, right? So if we're very clear in how we think, and the advice is to be very clear and is to nurture those emotions. The weakness is in the taking action part, right? So we can think and think and think and feel and feel and feel all day long, but until we actually take action on something, nothing is going to happen, right? All of this is still in the realm of the theoretical. Whereas, so this is saying your weakness that you need to work on is starting, okay? So like doing something. The Ace of Wands is like this magic wand of saying like bibbity bobbity boo, but like, what are you gonna do? Okay, so this is where you need to focus, but how do we get there, right? So how do we get there? So let's start about with how you've been feeling, okay? So how have you been feeling lately? Like this card, I don't know, I find it hilarious, and I'm probably not supposed to, but I do. It's like, I looked up what this thing is, and it's like an ancient like religious relic, but to me, it looks to me like she's pissed off at a robot, like, right? So the Queen of Cups, like the King of Cups, he's already already been through it. And I feel like the Queen is still a little bit like going through it. And here's the thing, feminine energy definitely like moves in cycles, right? And so it's kind of like our cycles will affect how we feel. So we're being asked here, projectors, to nurture that. Okay. So as the advice is to go, okay, recognize where I am in the cycle of emotion, because everybody has I'm not like, there's an ebb and flow all the time to emotions. And so where are you emotionally in terms of taking action on something? Okay. So I think that if you have a blockage about if something's holding you back, about something, whether it's, there's not really anything financial here. This is definitely more of like a leadership reading. Okay. So it's so in terms of becoming this leader that deep down that you are, right? So getting clear on whatever is blocking you from taking actions, from taking that step is going to be really, really important. And in order to do that, we need to spend a little bit more time nurturing those emotions, going deeper. So I'm getting some shadow work here. So if you're having some blockages about that fear of taking action. So I'm a manifester, right? I have zero fear of taking action. I just go and do things. Most people who do tarot, right? And I'm not saying I'm the most fabulous tarot reader in the world. I'm actually probably going to look back on these and go later on when I'm oh, this is super cringy, but that doesn't matter to me, because this is because I'm you got to start somewhere, right? It's okay. And so that's a good attitude for you in overcoming this weakness is, how about the mindset of you got to start somewhere? Perfectionism can be a bit of an issue because projectors are so naturally able to find out what's wrong with things. They can sometimes be well, I don't want to be like that. So maybe instead of starting something for myself, which you still should do, right? You can be well, I just want to improve everybody else's stuff. And that's where your strength is, right? You've got this crystal clarity about how other people and situations and projects and, systems, right? Projectors love systems. So you're really clear about how to do that, but maybe just not within yourself. Yeah, this is very much a reading about how can you apply the projector stuff of being able to improve things that already exist. Let's start applying it to yourself, projector. All right. So we need to go deeper in order to do that. So some meditation. A lot of people are kind of scared of shadow work. It was one of the greatest blessings. I mean, the month that it was maybe 2 years ago, I decided to spend a month just jumping into shadow work and listening to all these meditations. I'm not going to lie. I cried the most during that time that I probably did the whole year. And I shouldn't say I'm not much of a crier. I cry for joy quite a lot. And I leak when I'm so weird. That's not crying, but when you're, I call it leaking, right? You're not happy, you're not sad, but sometimes when I'm doing yoga, it'll trigger me and I'll just have it's not, but it doesn't feel like a tear. You know what I mean? Anyways, sorry, digress. So I think that, so I had a lot of leaking and crying that happened, but it was release, right? So maybe there's just, take it or leave it, right? But doing a little shadow work is not going to hurt you. But a lot of people don't want to go there because they're afraid of like what's down there, right? Doing shadow work is like, you know, when you're a kid and you're staying at your grandparents' place or whatever, and like, you know, it's kind of old, and like there's stuff that like in the basement, there's like banging noises and whatever. And it turns out, so your imagination makes up all this, your subconscious makes up all these stories around you know, what's down in the basement, monsters, creatures, animals, whatever. And then you go down there the next day in the light and it's like, oh, it was like a fireplace or a furnace or the hot water tank or something like that. And that's what shadow work is, right? Like it's going down into the basement and holding up a flashlight. So that's my flashlight. Holding up a flashlight and shining on what this actually is. And usually it's, well, shadow work is all about going back to your inner child. So anyways, there might be something in there for you. Maybe not. I don't know. But the message very clearly here is that if you want this confidence in this leadership, we need to go a bit further deeper within, so then that you release the blockages to starting things to get going, rather than just looking at everything that's already exists and wanting to improvement, which is your superpower. But sometimes we want things to come from us, right? Okay. That's all I've got for you this week, Projector. I hope that you garnered something helpful from it, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.